For today's flight, we mounted the LightWare GRF-500 to the bottom of LightWare's test hexacopter. That gave us a starting height of just under half a meter from the ground. The aim was to get a visual representation of what the world looks like from approximately 500 meters or 1,640 feet up in the air. The location we selected for this flight was a secluded game farm property located in a valley in between two rather imposing mountain ridges and accessible only via a dirt road. With the protection of steep cliffs on either side and the approval of the landlord to fly test flights, we were set for our flight. Even though the mountain ridges provided ample protection on either side, we set our flight ceiling for today at 480 meters, just under the maximum height of 500 meters that the GRF-500 is capable of accurately measuring. We did, however, receive some vocal complaints at the start of the mission from the resident troop of baboons, who signaled their utter displeasure at the noise our drone was making as it descended. Even though the GRF-500 can provide up to 10 readings per second, we pruned down the number of readings gathered and are displaying only one reading per second for the purposes of this video. Now, as we ascend through 200 meters or 650 feet above the ground, the view of the valley below widens out, and the even large objects like cars shrink significantly. As a gimbal rangefinder, the LightWare GRF range of devices will typically be integrated into a gimbal. In those cases, the power of the rangefinder is not necessarily only for downward-facing applications, but more often tilted forward at an angle. That is where the extended range of the GRF-500 shows its power, as it gives the operator the flexibility of increased flying height and the accuracy and range for forward-facing applications. This makes the GRF range ideal in search and rescue missions, where the ability to accurately determine the GPS coordinates of someone in need is the difference between life or death. At a mere 10.7 grams or 0.377 ounces, the GRF-500 contributes a negligible amount of weight to the airframe while consuming only a mere 0.6 watts of power. This is crucial for ensuring extended flight time and range. Our test location has limited tree coverage. However, it is worth noting that the GRF range of laser rangefinders has a unique ability to provide distance measurements of up to 5 objects in its path. The first pulse reading will be the object closest to the rangefinder. That would typically be the top of a tree, whereas the last pulse would be the distance to the ground. The 3 readings between the first and last pulse would represent objects in the middle, like branches. As we reach the apex of our planned mission, we see the feet of the drone retracting as it hovers in place for a few seconds, providing us with a beautifully unobstructed view of the valley below. Once the hover program is completed, the descent program starts and the landing feed is locked back into position.